Let me see. Oh, shit. You always got a queen by your side. You know I'm ready. All right, y'all. Come on in. Sipping with the smoke on the side. Doing what they want, what they like. You always got a queen by your side. Ain't no confusion, baby. You know I'm ready to ride. Always on with you, baby. Sipping with the smoke on the side. We keep it easy, baby. Doing what they want, what they like. We keep it 100, baby. We keep it 100, baby. We keep it 100. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Come on in, y'all. I already know what time it is. Come on in, Miss Gladys. I knew you was gonna be on here, child. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Everybody come on in. Come on in. Y'all know what time it is. Come on in, Lisa. I can look. Coco, Jamila, y'all come on in. Come on in, child. Come on in, Shantae. And all y'all, everybody, come on in. Come on in. Come on in, Zayana and Dominique and Yasmin. Come on in, y'all. We finna get some help today. Share the video. Share the video. I'm gonna come back on here and talk all my. I got to report live after this. But right now, we finna help somebody. Come on in, Janae. Come on in, Penny and Jakeisha. Come on in, y'all. Come on in, Tabitha and Trina and Ramona. Y'all come on in. Come on in. We here. We finna get some help. What is my name in country Wayne say? Help is on the way. Here. So come on in. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Hey, Tiffany, Denson, and Sharonda, and Jessica. Hey, y'all. Come on in, Trina. Come on in. Baby, turn that down so we can get to the business. Oh, okay. So we can get to the business, so then we can get to the, after this. So today we have somebody on the show who is, hey, Denasia. We have somebody on the show who is here to actually help us. And today we're going to talk about, come on, click on in, Ramona. So, and then we got, stop laughing now, I'm trying to be serious. So we got somebody on the show that's going to, help us. I've been trying to get somebody on here that could speak with us about depression and anxiety and stuff like that. Things that, because I feel like a lot of people are walking around and they don't know that they're depressed. You can see it sometime on your body. You can see it, in the disease in your body. You can see it in your weight, all kind of stuff like that. So I just felt like, and plus I just talked to so many people. Everybody know they could call me. Everybody know I always answer the, the inboxes and stuff. And I talk to a lot of people, and it's a lot of people in pain. So I wanted you to come on here to help us understand what depression is, the signs of depression, how to cope and maybe move from depression, and also just give people inspiration and hope. So go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Jessica Kizzie. Keandra and I go way 20 plus years. We go way back. I am a certified life coach. My business is Living Well with Jess. And so aside from that, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm an enemy. I'm all of those things to somebody. Ooh, and hey, it's just me. I feel like a lot of times we get so caught up in what everybody else got going on, or we feel like because you see them doing something over here or they doing something over there and it just look good, but you don't necessarily know what they going through or what they had to do to get what they have. So I appreciate Ms. Keandra for having me on this evening. I'm here. I'm a walking testimony myself. I'm grateful that I don't look like what I've been through.
Amen.
But as if I can be of assistance to anybody, I'm here. So what you got, ma'am?
Okay, all right, okay. Well, come on in then. See me get my damn thing, because see, look, my friend that came on here. You see? You still, I'm the friend with the broke English. You know how to come on in, friend. So first, what I want to say, ask you is, how did you, what made you even decide to become, a
Life
life
coach.
coach? What happened in your life to make you become a life coach?
Well, homelessness, brokenness, thoughts of, well, let me not say thoughts of suicide, attempted suicide. Um, and it wasn't, and for me, it wasn't that I didn't have anybody to talk to. I just felt like I had just done so much in my own life that nobody really wanted to hear it. You know, people like to say, don't be asking how you doing if you don't mean it.
Right.
Well, and I'm a firm believer, when I ask you, how are you? Are you okay? I want somebody to be able to be honest with me about that. And I don't think that life coaching was something that I chose. I think my life chose it for me. And there's and I am a lover of all women. I want us to always win. And I'm an even bigger lover of Black women.
Right.
And I know at the core of who we are, we take care of a lot of people, and we get overlooked a lot of times. And sometimes we can't even have decent relationships with friends and parents and sisters and brothers because it's always something. And so this just came from me talking to people like you, people inboxing me, always feeling like they can confide in me. And I was like, you know what? Let me do this, because it kept following me. I couldn't sleep at night. You
Right.
know, it was just something that I just had to do. God put this calling on my life, so I had to walk in it, because he wasn't going to leave me alone till I did it anyway. So I did it my way. It didn't work. So I'm going on his journey now. And
Okay.
so I'm excited.
Okay. Okay. All right. Come on in, Jess. All right. So, depression. Um, what what are the signs of depression? I know there are. It's vast and it's very broad. But what do you think the signs are for, like, just say just a everyday woman with all the stuff that we have to carry that can make us depressed? What do you think are the signs? If you see a friend, if I saw my friend and everything about her had changed drastically, maybe her hair done thinned out, or she done lost a lot of weight, or maybe gained a lot of weight, or she ain't got that smile behind her eyes,
Mhm.
or certain things she has, withdrawn herself. What would I be able to look at my friend and be like, what made me say, well, you depressed, sis? What's going on?
Well, one of the things that I think is the number one, look at people's attitudes. You know, if she's normally that, hey girl, hey, and now, hey, and she never has anything positive to say. It's always something negative. Or even if you're trying to be positive with her, then she's will come, well, what if this and what if this? And it's never, girl, you know what, you right. Or if you got that friend that is normally the life of the party, now she doesn't want to leave at the house and she's always in her pajamas, or she's never leaving the couch. Or if your friend's house is dirty, you would be amazed that, I mean, I know people make jokes about people having dirty houses, but some of that is because you just don't even have to get up and go about yourself.
That might be what's wrong with the girl I was talking about earlier, Tiffany, because her house smell like dogs, and she ain't the cleanest. It might be
Well,
depression.
it might be depression. You just never know, because it shows up in different ways. And some of it is genetic. You know, this is why we have to know where we come from. Because if you've had a grandmother or uncle or a brother or your dad or somebody that's been dealing with mental illness and you don't know it, then you can't treat yourself. That's why we have to ask these uncomfortable questions. What's your health condition? You got high blood pressure? Do you have mental illness? You know, these are things that you need to know, especially when we start having kids. Then we putting this stuff on our children and we don't even know it. You know, so there are just a different, like you said, some people gain weight, some people lose weight. When I was depressed, I looked like a pencil. I don't eat, I don't sleep. You can see the bags under your eyes. You know, the neck starts sinking in, those things. Or and an abundance of weight, and it just comes on real quick. So it's just a lot of different things. And we have to be careful in judging people because we don't know what's going on behind their eyes. And I know it's real quick to say like, "Oh, girl, you know what? You done got big." And I know we do it, and we don't necessarily mean nothing to buy it. Or you know what? You done lost a lot of weight, girl. What's going on? You know, it's just by habit. But we don't know what they're dealing with. They could be, you know, making themselves throw up, or they just could be overeating. We just never know. The thing that we can do is ask, girl, how you feeling? Do you feel like you depressed? I think I would want one of my friends to say, you know what, Jessica, you ain't been yourself lately.
So let me ask you this. What is feeling depressed? If somebody was to, I feel depressed, what is that? What is feeling depressed?
It's almost like you walking around with like a cloud over your head and it's just raining. You know, you feel it in your arms and in your shoulders. You always a constant headache. You know, if you can't sleep, if you're always crying, you know, when your heart don't feel right, you know, when you in that, when you all so tight, you can't even breathe. It's almost like it's you're losing your breath. It's so stifling, you know, just not a sense of comfortability, you know.
Okay. So if what should anyone who you think Chantel says something you have blocked in, something all of a sudden brings it back and you in zombie mode. Okay, so let me ask you this. What should, if you have a friend or if you have someone that is depressed, what type of, because everybody don't want to get therapy. I believe in therapy.
Me too.
Because I could be crazy as a goddamn bed.
I go see my behavioral health specialist. Look, I don't care I'm a life coach, but a life coach need to be coached too.
Exactly. You know, you need to have somebody who you can empty all your stuff on, because everybody emptying all their stuff on you.
Exactly.
I get it. So how do you get to that place, I guess, where how do you get them help? Say you got somebody that say, you know, I don't want to go, you know how, because a lot of Black people don't believe in it. I ain't gonna go tell them folks my business. You know what I'm saying? They got that type of mentality. So how do you get them out of that place? How do you help somebody from being in that place if they don't want professional help?
Well, so if you don't want it, then there's nothing that anybody can do, because at the core of who you are the things and the thoughts that you have. So if your thought is, I'm just gonna stay this way, and I'm just gonna I don't know what this is I'm dealing with, but if I'm not gonna go and get help, then there's really nothing that you can do. I can't force you to do anything. However,
Is therapy the only option?
No, because I'm a life coach. So I am the step before therapy. I am the person that's going to sit down with you now. And I'll be honest, me as a life coach means you're going to have to look at yourself. Don't come to me if you're not ready to deal with whatever it is that you're going to deal with, because I'm going to hold you accountable. If you say, Jessica, I want to be at this place in this amount of time, I'm going to help you get there. But what we're not going to do in a session with Jessica is we're not gonna place the blame on anybody else. When I talk to you about how you're feeling. What are your thoughts? How could you have handled the situation differently? Because a lot of the times it's easy to blame everybody else and then we not take responsibility for the role that we play.
So that journey, I was talking about that journey. I think I don't know, because you know I go live, but I think I said something to the effect of, you know, having to look at that person in the mirror, and that being one of the hardest things that you will ever have to do is say, I'm the reason for why my life fucked up. So what to get to that journey? Where do you even begin to, because it's steps to getting yourself out of a state of wanting to kill yourself and being just because a lot of people get stuck. I'm a living witness. You can get stuck in depression and you can actually get comfortable, even though the depression is uncomfortable, but you can actually get comfortable in your depression, and you can actually get comfortable in pain. Like you carry it, and you wear it like it's an armor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You so how do you? I mean,
it's mental. Just like you thought your way into depression, you can think your way out of it. And that's why I'm a mindfulness coach, because I want to change your perspective about what the situation is. Because what you may seem as a weakness, I may see as strength. You know, it's hard to be in a domestic violence relationship and still get up every day and still go to work and still cover up your black eyes and your bruised body and still smile and act like everything's okay. See, you may think that that's a weakness, but I think that's a strength, because when you get ready to go out, you're going to have to go back to that strength. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to remember those days when, you know what, I had a black eye, but today I don't. It's all about how we look at the situation. It starts in the mind. I heard somebody say if you do something for 14 days repetitively, it becomes a habit. So imagine if you start speaking life, you start speaking prosperity, you start speaking healing, you start breaking chains off your own life. Imagine for 14 days, if you just start saying,
encouraging yourself, like you did the other day. Child, with my finger. Hold up.
Just imagine, because one thing that I'm gonna tell you, the one thing this world don't want is an educated, black, strong woman. Because we are something. When we put our mind to something, we can't be stopped. People gonna start think like, what? Wait a minute, because she used to act like this. Because what's going on now? Oh, because she's realizing who she is. And she realizing who she was created by. You know what I'm saying? When you start changing your thought process, because I just said this today, you cannot change your situation being depressed. Your situation won't change because you're depressed. Those two things have nothing to do with each other. So if I gotta go through, I might as well go through with a positive attitude. It may not be where I want it to be today. However, because don't say but, say however. That means something else is coming. It's gonna get better. Even if you were struggling to get out of bed yesterday, but today you woke up and you just said, you know what, I'm gonna get up. That's a step. And you need to applaud yourself for that. If you was crying yesterday, but you woke up today feeling a little bit better, you know what, girl? Kim, I feel a little bit better today. You know what I'm saying? You got to the small victories are just as important. If it took you 3 years to get in a situation, it ain't gonna take 5 minutes to get out of it. It's a process. But cheer yourself on in the process.
And give yourself time.
Yes.
Give yourself time. You can't be in a rat race. Now, we was talking about something before we went live. And we had a brief conversation, and I had to stop you. I was like, stop. So we were talking about something, and we were talking about how people are depressed because they are not living their full potential and not living the life that they want to live. I feel like I did not come out of my depression until I stepped in front of this camera. It literally kept calling me. I'm like, I don't want to be in front of no motherfucking camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to sing. I stutter. You know what I'm saying? My English is like, you know, I don't say all my words. I got this hood vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? And this is not what I wanted to do. Like, I ain't want to do it like this. This wasn't meant to be this. You know what I'm saying? This definitely wasn't meant to be this. And so, but when I accepted that this was what it was, a part of the journey, and I started to live in it, I was like, okay, this makes me happy, because people get, it's a lot of rough along with it, but people actually getting healed, and I'm feeling good because I'm doing something. I'm not just going to work every day like on autopilot and just going to work and clocking in and doing my job and coming home and cooking dinner and fussing at the girls about why y'all ain't in the bed and this and that and all that kind of stuff. I started having purpose.
So that's the word.
We were talking about like how so many people are depressed because they're not living their purpose and they're not up doing what it is that they want to do. Maybe you lived your life for your husband and his career and what he want to do and all of that kind of stuff. So how do you get back when you have probably put yourself on the back burner for so long? How do you get back that sense of purpose?
Well, the first thing you need to do, and this is something that I did. I can't necessarily tell you what to do, but this is what I did. I stood in the mirror one day naked. I mean, I took off everything, no makeup, no earrings, and I looked myself in the mirror and I cried. And I cried like I had never cried before. But when I cried, I had a purpose, because I knew at that moment when I dried my face, I had accepted all of who I was. And that's exactly what you have to do, accept it. It's okay that you and this is one of the things that I tell, especially people with parents. I understand you got to take these kids, and you got to take care of your kids, and this is a very unpopular opinion, but your kids don't come before you. And I need mothers to understand that, because I am that mother.
Woo!
Here I am now, 39, just actually walking into my calling, because I felt like I had to do this and I had to be this for them and I had to do this. And I was working 2 and 3 jobs trying to make sure I had everything together, but I was not happy.
Mm-hmm.
I was not happy. And that's
Everybody
my first thing.
around you was happy.
Everybody else, and I was making everybody else smile, but when the lights went off and the sun went down, here I am with myself, not feeling fulfilled, not being happy. And especially when you get married, you don't get married to lose yourself. Your identity is just as important as your spouse's. My wife is in the military, so everywhere she go, I go.
Right.
It's nothing I can do that. She goes to deploy and she does all of these things. And for me, it was, my wife had all this purpose, and the whole country is on her shoulder, and here I am with nothing.
Right.
And I was like, but I'm amazing. Like, I got too much going on for my own self not to be walking in my purpose. So it's almost like you just got to get up one day and say enough is enough.
You got to get tired. It's like a man.
Yeah.
Like a man, you decide I'm tired, and you had it. It's like an awakening that you have.
It is. And most of the times you don't get your breakthrough until you're about to break yourself. That's where your breakthrough is. Mm-hmm. When you are on your last leg and you don't have no other options. Well, then you know what? We give everybody else options. Give yourself that same option. Mm-hmm. You know, you encourage everybody else, because everybody call your phone. I know everybody else call your phone, and you have so many sweet and beautiful words for them. Say those same sweet and beautiful words to yourself. Right. And some of those sweet and beautiful words that you give to people, they don't even deserve, but you do.
Right. Right.
So it's almost, it's here. We have to change the thought pattern. And I don't care where you came from. I don't care what your situation is. If there is something that runs you down, that's probably what you're supposed to be doing. If you can't get it off your mind, if you keep meeting people that keep reminding you of that thing, that's what you're supposed to be doing. And stop listening to people who ain't got nothing going on in their life.
Woo, Lord Jesus. Baby, okay.
Stop it. Because it's hard for you to grow if they want you to stay where they're at.
Oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus. You just, that right there, you look, somebody is toe tapping or shouting or something right now, because my feet tap. That's a word right there.
That's a word right there. And I don't care if it be a parent or if it be a friend, or because we can be laying next to the enemy. Don't get me wrong, because we have to start asking ourselves, is this what God brought together, or is this something that I want? Because what I do know is God gonna give you everything that you ask for. And we got to be specific in the things that we want. We got to start manifesting peace and love and understanding and commitment and healing. We got to start manifesting those things. And everybody can have it. I don't believe that there's one person on this earth who cannot get themselves out of whatever they're in if they just change their mind.
They
Not
mindset.
to say that you can't be attached to somebody to help you along the way, but it starts with you. I just made a post today. There is no such thing as somebody making you do something,
Right.
because it's your, whether it's your thought or theirs, you still make the decision
Make
on
the
what you
ultimate
do,
decision.
and nobody can take that from you. So I don't know. I want to see us win. I'm so tired of our sisters hurting. And I know, and not to say that it's not happening in other households, but I'm talking specifically to my sisters who are probably teenage mothers who probably been raped and abused, and they are holding on, and then they have to go see the same uncle and cousin or stepdaddy at the family reunion, and everybody telling you to be quiet because they don't want to lift up the rug and sweep from
Right.
under it. And then here
Right.
you are left with all the remnants
Right.
of somebody abusing you. And I'm gonna say to you right now, if that is you right today, sis, it's time for you to break free. You have held on to that long enough. That person don't get to continuously live their life like they ain't did nothing to you, and here you are on drugs. You out here selling your body. You out here doing everything to yourself to not deal with the pain. Sis, it's time for you to look, write it down. Get a pen, write down whatever it is that you need to break free from today. And I say, when you burn it, because I think this is very therapeutic. Write down whatever it is. If you feel like you can't go to the person and tell them how you feel, then you write them a letter and you let them know everything they did to you. You let them know how they made you feel when they said or they did whatever, or even if they wasn't around. If you had a parent that wasn't there for you, I want you to write them today, because we need to break free. We in the midst of a pandemic. 190,000 people have already died from an incurable disease at this point, but we don't need to keep dying from what's in our mind. This is something that we can break free from right here. And I want you to sit down and I want you to write whatever it is. And even if you have to cry, I want you to cry. But when you dry your tears, let that be the last time you cry a tear about this situation, because you can't change it anyway. There's nothing you can do about it unless you can go and press charges. And if you feel like you need to do that, then I want you to do that. And I don't want you to feel bad because, well, that's my mama husband. Oh well. That's my sister daddy. They didn't care about all of that when they was molesting you. They didn't care about that when they was beating up on you. I don't care if nobody around you supports your decision, it is yours to make. And it's time for you to get your freedom, honey. It's time for you to break that chains off your heart so you can find the love that's meant for you. Because it's out there, but you can't get it because you're so wrapped up in other people's mess. And that's somebody else's. It's not yours. Stop feeling like it's your fault, because it's not.
You said, you touched on something that was so important when you said you have to let shit go, because other people, and that's something that I had to learn. I mean, let me tell you something. I used to be so hurt by like seeing like family go on trips and everybody living their life, and I'm all the way over here because I just always been a loner. This is who I am. I've always, I mean, if anybody know me, they know you see me, then you don't see me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just it. I've always been in like my own little bubble. I created my own little family and my own little world, and I'm good with that. But like looking at like everybody move on with their life and watching like, my mom, them go on trips with my sisters and do like all this different type of stuff. And nobody not one time picked up the phone and said, you want to go? Like, I ain't know till it was on Facebook. So I used to hold on to all of that stuff, right? And all of that stuff used to hurt me, and it made me mean. Some of y'all, I tell y'all that some people that if you got a wife or a woman and she's out here, she's mean and she's angry all the time. If it's that shit that you holding on to, that it's that trauma, that past childhood shit, that hurt, that's probably you continue to hold on to because you feeling like you're waiting on somebody to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Acknowledge you over here, or pick up the phone and say, you know what? This time I'm gonna apologize first. You know what I'm saying? I'm apologize. And when you hold on to that and you wait on that, that shit make you mean because you holding all that in, and you're expecting for people to treat you like you would treat another person. Yeah. Or you're expecting for somebody to apologize to you, when the thing that I had to learn the most was you have to just accept people for who they are. If you have a mom that you don't really get along with, or a child that you don't really get along with, and it just don't work, or whoever, you have to let it go. If they treat you a certain kind of way or do a certain type of thing, you got to get to a point where you mature enough to say, you know what, I got to accept that's just who they are. That's their character. And I get to decide now as an adult if I wanted that type of person in my life. And I can decide, no, I don't want you in my life. Or I can decide, let's work it out if it's workable or something like that. So I just let you gotta let that shit go. That shit make you mean and build up and all that shit.
And to add to that, we have to be careful in the energy we're giving off. Just like you said, you a loner. So you be over here in your world. It may not have been a situation where, well, I'm just not gonna call her, because you over here by yourself. We got to be careful in the energies that we're putting off too, because that might come off, well, I don't want to really have nothing to do with them. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
That's true. You're right.
This is what I had to learn. The 7-year-old Jessica and the 39-year-old Jessica are two totally different people. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you have to let people know that I want you in my life. I wouldn't mind if you picked up the telephone and said, well, when you get ready to go on your family trips, even if I can't make it, it wouldn't hurt for you to pick up the telephone and say, you know what, we going. And I had to have this conversation with my dad, because we had this rocky relationship, and here I am now, almost 40. So you don't know me, but I said, let me let you know something. I don't really care what happened when I was growing up. This is where I am now. I want you in my life. I need for you. We don't have to talk every day, but I need for you to pick up that telephone to call and check on me to make sure I'm all right. I don't need your money.
Right.
I don't necessarily need parenting, but I just want to hear your voice to know that you are right. And it's nothing wrong with reintroducing yourself to people as you get older. What you liked yesterday may not be what you like today.
Amen.
And we have to stop assuming that people know what we want and what we need and how we feeling. Say what you need to say. And if they can't respect your boundary, then they probably don't need to be in your life anyway. But it can't be, they knew, they should have known. No. I am not leaving up to chance for anybody to treat me the way I want to be treated. In the grand scheme of things, you should treat people the way that you want to be treated. But I understand that some people don't know what that really means. So let me tell you what I require. This is what you're going to have to do this. If me and you're going to be friends, then this is what I need. This is what I need. This is what I need. And if we can't, and I'm like you, I meet people right where they are. I'm not asking you to be somebody you're not to be my friend. But what I am asking you to do is to be honest with me about who you are. Don't send no representative. Don't send somebody that you think I want to meet. I want to meet the real you. Because if we can't grow together, if we can't learn together, if I can't love you at your worst, then why should I be around when everything is going good? But I'm going to tell you something else. I feel like, I know your mama probably done told you this, because my mama said all the time, you don't need no friends. I'm your friend. I'm the only friend you got.
That's a lie.
But when we get older, then we don't even know how to be real friends, because it's already been implanted in our heads that you don't need people. Mm-hmm. And then we have to relearn that. And then we'll misuse the people that really love us, that's really been there for us. But we don't really know how to love them and respect them, because we already got this thought, or we see our parents being in these toxic relationships, and then we think that's how they use. If he ain't hit me today, then he don't love me. Or if I ain't cussing him out today, then apparently I don't love him. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have so many negative things that are attached to us, some of which we have no control over, but we get to decide as grown people.
Yes.
The energy we want to give out. And sometimes And this is me. Sometimes I had to do stuff for other people because I couldn't figure out what I needed to do for myself at the time. But one thing I did know, if I did something for somebody else and I saw that smile on that face, then guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna smile back.
Right, right.
So even if you can't even figure out what to do with yourself, find, go to the homeless shelter, start doing some community service, start being a servant, and you will be so amazed at how much
joy it brings.
Yes, and not only that, then you're gonna realize your situation probably ain't even that bad.
Ooh.
Sometimes we got to get out our own way. We got to get out our own mind. We got to get out our own thoughts. Yes. Sometimes we need to do something because we so selfish. We hold on to everything, even the bad. We just hold on because we don't want nobody. We don't want nobody to see us vulnerable. We don't want nobody to see us on our bad days. Right. I need to know. I need you to pick up the telephone, screaming and howling, so I know you human. Right. Friend, I don't know what to do. Friend, okay, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna hold this phone. If we need to pray, then I'm gonna pray with you. Cause that's what we get our breakthrough from, when you know you can just be yourself and you don't have to worry about your business all out in the street, and you ain't gotta worry about nobody making these slide posts on Facebook, because that's depressing. Us seeing all our black men getting killed on TV every other day, that's depressing.
Right. That's why I don't post it like that no more. I don't even.
Me neither. I don't want to see it because it's so much. When we hear that we are, as black people, we are dying at higher rates from COVID, that stuff is depressing. Most of us have lost our job.
And you know what? And when you continue to hear that stuff like that, it becomes real when you start to believe it.
It does.
If somebody just it's just like a song. You can hate a song when a song first dropped. I know when that song with Beyonce dropped, when she remade that damn song. And
girl,
oh, I can't believe she done fuck with a classic. I can't believe
and then you know what?
And next thing you know, bitch, you in a car, you know. Then next thing that oil went up, and because they kept playing and they kept playing, and you begin to like it.
Because this morning, and I said I was one of them people like that. That's like, what she did this for? But you know what I was doing this morning? Pulling up the Coachella. Just this morning, I was like, and I told my wife, I was like, I got to get this song out of my head, but I'm like, ooh, okay. I was throwing down. You know, but it was just like, well, I mean, if you can't beat her, then join her, okay? So that was throwing down.
I see somebody named Jessica Latrice, and she said, people can easily tell you to let go of the past, but it's not that simple. What you got to say on that?
So, look, it's not that simple. I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be an easy feat, but I promise you it's going to be easier than what you're living with every day of your life. I'm not saying I don't have the rule book, but when you choose you, and I'm not talking about what people have done to you, I mean sincerely choose you and the energy that you want, it's gonna become easy. Let me give you a prime example. So I thought I was in love this one time in 2012, and I just had to be with this young lady, okay? And I left Mobile, Alabama, and I moved to Memphis to be with this girl.
You had to.
Girl. And so,
child, you had to be came on in.
Girl. Yeah. So now 3 weeks into me moving there, I had packed my stuff up to go back to Mobile because I knew 3 weeks in that wasn't where I was supposed to be. But you know, we ignore the red flags because that's just what we want to do.
Right.
Fast forward to 7 months later, she called the police. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, 20 degrees outside. She called the police to have me escorted out of her apartment because she no longer wanted me there, which we had already decided I was going to leave in March anyway. But this one particular day, she got a wild hair up her tail and decided she no longer wanted me there. So here I am. I hadn't even got, I think I had like maybe $50 to my name. I drove from Memphis to Alabama, and I took my kids to my mama's house. I lived in a hotel for 6 months, and for 6 months I was drunk. As a matter of fact, if she even know, she don't even know I had went and bought an aluminum bat because I wanted to bust her skull in, and I would sit outside that same apartment. I did that for about a month straight. Every night I knew she had to go to work, and it was gonna be like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning when she had to go to work. I knew nobody would have saw me. It would have been an easy kill, but I cried for a month because I was so angry because I felt like she had took my kids from me. I just couldn't believe she treated me that way. And I would get off work every day. I still went to work. I was depressed. I stayed in this little dirt bag hotel. My kids were safe because they was in Alabama with my mama. But I was the assistant manager at New York and Company. For my store grossed $2 million a year. I'm making $50,000 a year, but I'm drunk every day, living in a hotel. But when you saw me, because I was a dressed up mess, and when I tell you I was dressed up, honey, hair laid, you couldn't tell what I was going through. But when I went to Applebee's, because that was across the street from the hotel I stayed, the bartender saw me at the door and had my drinks ready for me by the time I got to the bar. But one day I woke up and I said, you know what? This ain't even who you are. Literally, one day I spent $10,500, y'all, in a hotel, and I'm still thanking God because I don't even know where I got the money from. I'm still trying to figure out what hustle I had going on then because I need them 10 stacks right today. Okay. But I digress. But one day I woke up and I said, enough is enough. You have sat in your mess long enough, and I wasn't getting anywhere. It wasn't doing me any good. And literally, y'all, literally, this was on a Monday. I woke myself up. I'll never forget this day. Tuesday, I went and filled out an application for an apartment. By Thursday, I was moving in. And it was nothing but God in my mind. And it was a hard process. But as long as we keep sitting in it, nothing is going to change. Nothing will change until we decide that this is not what we want for our lives. We were not created to be miserable. Jesus said it in the Bible. We was created to be the head and not to the tail. We were created to be above and not beneath. We are a chosen people. And not to say that things are not going to happen, but it's how we react to the things that happen to us. And sometimes we just got to change how we react to it. Sis, I'm not telling you that it's going to happen overnight. But when you do break free, it's going to be worth it. Your skin going to look better. Baby, that smile going to look better. And I'll say this. A lot of times when we look at the relationships that we are in and the people that we are connected to, if this is another way you can decide if you're depressed. If the people that are around you not speaking life into you, then that's probably something that you need to check. I know for me, when I got better, my circle got better, my friends got better, I got better, my relationships got better because I wasn't accepting just any old thing. Right. I realized what I was worth. Right. I realized I deserved better. And this is another thing that I want to leave with people. Your character and your circumstance are two totally different things. Stop thinking because you may not be where you want to be financially, or you may not be living in the house that you want to be in, that the person that you are at the core has anything to do with it. Because we all got to start somewhere. I was homeless. I had nowhere to go. I lost my apartment. I lost my car. All of the things. I was thrown out of my apartment. I was evicted. My car was repossessed. Even the stuff that I had in storage, my kids barely had clothes on their back. And then at that point, I was like, well, you know what? My kids don't need me. Let me go on and end it. So I dropped them off at my mama's house one weekend. And I wrote this beautiful obituary eulogy because I eulogized my own self. Now, see, that's terrible because I wrote my own eulogy. I took about 30 Xanax pills. Now, normally if I take one, I'm on my neck for 3 days. Y'all, I was up for 48 hours. I couldn't even go to sleep. I cried and I said, God, what are you doing? I cried and I prayed and I cried and I prayed. My heart supposed to exploded. 30? And I was up for 48 hours and I cried. And I was like, okay, God, clearly You got something for me. So whatever it is I'm thinking I'm finna do, this ain't what I got. That's not what was meant for my life. And so I had to get out of my own way. I had to stop feeling sorry for myself. Because I wanted everybody to feel pity for little old Jessica, and she don't have this, and she don't have this. I ain't the first person that's been homeless. I ain't the first person that had a car repossessed. So you know what I did? I went and got on the bus. I walked wherever I had to go. I took a taxi. I did whatever. Friends came and picked me up. Whatever it was that I had to do until I got to a better situation, I did it. But it made me feel good on the inside too, because then I realized I can do this. It may be uncomfortable, but now I got a story. Now I can be a help to somebody else. And that's one of the things that I really love about this life. This thing we call life is that sometimes the things that we go through is not even for us. It's for somebody else. It's for you to allow somebody else to break free from what they going through. And if we stop taking everything so personal and think it's always about us, and why me? And why this happened to happen to me? Why not you? What's so special about you that you can't go through nothing? Jesus was hung on a cross for what? I'm still waiting on somebody to tell me that today. And he died for our sins. And can't nobody even tell you what he did wrong. But he died. So if he can go through that, surely I can go through this little stuff that's going on over here. And I can leave it with him. And I know everybody is not spiritual, but I'm sorry. That's where I get my
religious.
You know, I'm very religious. And if I don't mean to offend anybody,
you know, I love religion. Say what you got to say.
But what I'm saying is, if you feel like you need to try something different, try Jesus. Try him. What you got to lose?
You ain't got nothing to lose. You done tried crack and you done tried all the rest of the stuff that ain't bring you no joy. You might try
it. And look, and if you need somebody to try and with, call me. Because I'm all about a prayer. I'm all about an inspirational song, because I wake up every morning. Jesus got to start my day, because I got to set my intentions for my day. You never know what's going to happen. So while I'm getting dressed, while I'm in the shower, as a matter of fact, I don't even know. I want everybody on this live to go download Worth Fighting For. And his name is Brian. I can't think of his last name, but his first name is Brian. And it's Worth Fighting For. That song starts my day off every day. It says, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard all he has planned for me. And it didn't say that I had to be perfect. It didn't say that everything was going to go right. It just said that you don't know what God got for me. Wow. You stop trying to tell me where I'm supposed to be. Brian Courtney Wilson, Worth Fighting For. When you listen to that song, he's reminding you of who he is. He's reminding you that he's going to take care of you. And I'm telling you, just start your day off with that one song and watch how your life going to change. Watch how your energy going to shift. Watch how God is going to come and do something exceedingly and abundantly above anything that you could have ever asked or thought. Only because you submitted yourself. Look, I know you can try Jesus and go see a therapist. They both work hand in hand. You can try Jesus and come see Living Well with Jess, because she's going to take care of you too.
Period.
You do not have to suffer any longer. There's always warning before destruction, and tonight is the warning. Ooh. It is time for you to break free. There is not, this right here is not a coincidence. You are not on this live for, this is not a coincidence. This is exactly where you were supposed to be. Because there are some things we all are dealing with that we need to let go of. And if you need to write you a let go list, write down a let go list. And I'm going to tell you, and I know we in this pandemic and we can't go nowhere. And whatever it was that you used to like to do, I know some people like to go to the beach. Create your beach in your house. Put your bathing suit on. Open up your windows. Put on your favorite song. Get you something to sip on if that's what you do. And you create what you want until you can get there. There's nothing wrong with creating that space. If you know you and your girls used to turn up, then we got these little group chats on Facebook. You can do Zoom. This cute
Yeah.
little thing she got going on right now, and y'all have a turn up party. Put on your best outfit, sis. Go on and get your little border together, and y'all turn up like y'all would have if y'all was in the club.
Period.
All I'm saying is we got to create the space that we want. If you know you like to read a book, send them kids outside or send them to their room. Create them their own little space, and you take 30 minutes out of your day every day to dedicate to what it is that you want to do. I don't care what you got to do for everybody else. 30 minutes a day belongs to you. Even if that 30 minutes happens before everybody get up in the house and you get these kids, because they ain't even leaving home. So you got to go in the bathroom and make you a bubble bath. Do that. Put on your favorite song. Put on some cute clothes and do something with your hair. Like, you got to create this space. You're not going to heal where you're broken. You cannot heal where it's already broken. So now, if I got to heal from the inside out, then I got to start feeling better from the inside out.
Yeah.
Which means I got to start doing things that make me happy, that
Right.
makes me smile. You think about the things you used to do before you got into this situation that made you happy. If you want to pick up, like right now, I want to start taking piano lessons again. I realized that was one of the things I absolutely loved growing up. Then I started having kids and life just started happening. But now that I've calmed down, I realized I'm about to start taking piano lessons again, because that was my happy place.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get that feeling back. And even though that was when I was 15, 16, but that was a happy spot for me. And I don't know that it's going to give me the same happiness at 39, but I'm going to give it a try.
It is just, just like with music, people think that you have to start doing music at a certain age, or when you get to a certain age, you might as well give it up because it's the 20-year-olds and all that kind of bullshit like that. If you like doing music or singing or something like that, people will sit here and use you in church for 50 years. And think that you're supposed to sing in church for 50 years and you ain't never too old. If you want to make an album, if you want to put some music out, if you feel like you want to be on stage or you used to be on stage, like, I'm getting back into my shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting back into my shit. That is my first love. Before kids, before, that's all singing, that's my shit. That's my first love. If it's something that you want to do, no matter how it may look to other people, or they probably say, well, girl, I know you shouldn't be doing it. God, she is too motherfucking old to be doing it. Or, when we get to a certain age, oh, she too old to be dressing like that. And when you travel to other countries and you've been to other countries, you realize ain't no age limit on the sexy woman. That's American shit. Them women still like they 35 and they be 65 because they still on the beach in swimsuits. The men got on Speedos. I'm talking about he ain't got nothing down. They look flat like a woman, but he got them on.
And I'm telling you right now, as soon as the world open up, they finna get all this cellulite and every bit of the stretch marks on this beach, because I'm getting
American shit. Live your life. Live your life. That's why a lot of us is depressed, because we ain't living. I had to start living mine. Live your life. Because guess what? Your children gonna get grown. They gonna move on. Look, mine's moving out slowly but surely. I got one to trickle on out. Then I got another baby. She graduate next year. She gonna trickle on out. And then guess what? You're gonna be left with a husband or a spouse that have built a career and have something to look forward to every day. And now you ain't raising kids no more. Now you sit in the house and you looking at a goddamn wall and you wondering why you depressed. Because
all my kids are in college. Yeah, because all my kids are gone. I'm an empty nester. And I was like, Lord, what am I gonna do with myself? And that was kind of eye-opening, because these kids, they do whatever they want to do. They call. My son don't even half answer the phone. I be worried, concerned about what he had. He don't care.
Best life.
Right. And my wife tells me all the time, we not gonna be sitting around waiting on these kids. Don't ask me to move close to these kids, because we not. Because if it was my way, these kids would never leave home. I just feel like they supposed to be at home with me. But now that I'm getting to this place, like, you know what? I'm finna enjoy it. My wife is about to get ready to retire from this military. My life coaching business is taking off. I actually wrote a book I'm
look,
about to get my own self together.
and walk in everything that it is. What you're
Yes.
supposed to be walking in.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, I love these kids, but mama
You can
finna
walk
get her
around,
groove on.
and you can walk around, let your titty swing and shit. You ain't got to be running and trying to make sure.
Right. Cover up.
I can't wait, Justin. I can't. Ooh, I can't wait.
Yes. Look, I'm just saying we got to find something to make us happy.
We do.
We can't fix everything that's wrong, but we can create a happy space.
Because
and
you know what? We feed hurt. We feed hurt. We feed depression. We feed sickness. We feed your goddamn happy.
Yes.
Feed that
You
shit.
know what? I was listening to my favorite song by Erykah Badu is Bag Lady. I love that song. And she was saying, let it go, let it go, let it go. And I was like, you know what? She's saying to let this baggage go. But what if I fill my baggage with happiness? Let me start open up that duffel bag and start putting some joy and some love and some peace on up there.
You just said a
word. Put it on your back and wear it.
Yeah.
Because what we don't realize is our kids, even though they may not see what's going on, but then we teach them how to deal with things. Mm-hmm. We got to realize, especially when we are concerned or we are responsible for other lives, we got to take our own mental health seriously. We got to create a space for our children to be comfortable. They got to feel love. You can't keep shutting yourself up in the room and crying yourself to sleep and leaving your kids out here.
I did that for years.
I did. I would come home from work and go make sure they did their homework. I fix them something to eat, and then I disappeared, and they ain't see me no more to the next day.
And I had to realize that was depression.
Yes,
I didn't want to deal with nothing. Like when I come here, don't come keep knocking on my goddamn door. You know, like just let me just lay in here. I ain't even doing shit. I just want to just be in here, lay in here. And I don't want nobody to ask me shit. Don't talk to me. Don't ask me to do nothing. I just want to be in here.
Yeah. And spend that time with your kids. But set boundaries. Because my kids know at 8:30, don't call me. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I don't really care. As long as y'all ain't bleeding on my floor. I don't really care what's going on. Don't burn my house down. But after 8:30, that's me and my wife time. And I'm not really interested in you no more. I have done everything that I needed to do. Yeah. But you have to create that space. And when you're trying... I've seen on my timeline so many of my Facebook friends, like, I keep doing this and I keep doing this, and people not realizing. So stop. Don't keep doing and doing, and they not realizing what you're doing. Okay, let me show you. Sometimes your absence will change a situation. Step back. Stop trying to rescue everybody else, and you need to be rescued yourself. You need somebody to extend a lifeline to you. You got to stop trying to take care of everybody else and put you first. Mm-hmm. There is nothing wrong in this season
of being
time to be selfish. Yes. Get yourself together. You can't keep pouring from this empty cup. Your bank account is in the negative. You ain't got nothing else to give nobody. Right. When they start talking about, girl, you know such and such. All right, girl, let me hang up this phone. If they not talking about nothing, or you trying to say, girl, I just really need to talk. Well, girl, let me go on and tell you what I had going. Girl, all right, you know what?
But now I am. When they call me, what? That's my job. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's different. Well, that's different. But if you trying to get into a better place, right? And every time they trying to always dump their negativity on you, now you carrying their baggage. And you worried about them. So now you done forgot about what you had going on over here, because now you trying to fix whatever sister got going on with the baby daddy with all these kids. Right. But she ain't trying to make her situation no better. But she wants you to make it a priority. Right. No, sister, I love you, but no.
And you're grown and you had them.
No is a complete sentence. It does not come with an explanation. No. Period. Start using it. No, period. Start using it. Man.
And you know what? That's a lot of people's problem. Is they cannot tell people no, because they feel guilty and they have family and shit. I have seen it for myself. I don't experience, because I stand on a firm no. When I say no, it is what it is. But you have people that are just like, but what people say, she's soft-hearted. You know what I'm saying? You got people that you know that you could get shit out of. You sit there and you keep on, and they tell you no. When they tell you no, you got a whole attitude. You put that guilt trip on them, and they feel like they running their own self down because they won't just say
That's depression.
no.
That's depression.
So that's depression.
That feeling to be needed. That's
Okay.
that's you know what I'm saying? Look, I want to be needed, but it can be on your terms. You don't always have to keep extending yourself because you are looking for validation from somebody. Well, if I keep doing this, and if maybe they'll realize that I'm right here, I'm the one that they supposed to be with. I cooked and I cleaned and I did all these things, and I, and they don't care because you are not it. You need to be it for yourself
First.
Start feeding all that energy you put into everybody else who don't care about what you're doing. Put that into yourself and watch how your situation gonna change.
Keep your money in your pocket.
Keep it in your pocket. Keep it in your pocket, because guess what? They're still not gonna be enough, because then they're gonna be coming back. Here it is, your next payday. They know when you get paid before you.
Right.
But in them same 2 weeks, they ain't went and filled out no job application.
Right.
They called into work 5 times. They done gave the money to the baby daddy, or they done went and got these bundles, but I ain't thought about that light bill. That's not your problem. No, that's it. No. Well, why? No. I don't owe you no explanation.
About my money?
I said what I said. No. Well, I don't want to talk to you no more. Bye.
Period.
That's too easy.
And that's the end of all that.
That's it. Let me move right along. I ain't need you in my space anyway.
I don't know what I did with it. Okay. All right. Well, let me see. The last because we can't look, y'all. We can't touch on everything. This conversation is so broad and so Jessica, I'm gonna have to bring you back on here because we need to talk about domestic violence.
Let's talk about it.
We need to talk about incest and dealing with that sexual trauma. We need to talk about that. We need to talk about all that. Y'all, how long we been on here? We've been on here for an hour. Look, this is supposed to be an hour show. We had an hour and 1 minute. We doing good. So, Jessica, tell everybody where they can find you, they can find you with on social media, because baby, this is who you need to talk to.
Well, on my actual Facebook page, it is Jessica Clark-Keesee. On my business page is Dear Jessica. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm Living Well with Jess 2020. Look, guys, I don't have it all. I make mistakes. I'm human just like everybody else, but your mistakes don't define who you are. You can recover from anything you've ever been through. There is redemption for you. There is forgiveness for you. This is what we need to talk about, forgiveness. The next time we come on, let's talk about forgiveness.
Talk about forgiveness. I need to have you back on this week.
Let's talk about it.
We're gonna make a date.
Let's talk about that, because I'm really big on forgiveness.
Talk about that.
I'm big on it, and it's not for you. It's not for them. It's for you.
Mm-hmm.
It is so freeing that, you know what, and being okay with the I'm sorry that you didn't get. See, this is what we need to talk about, because everybody ain't gonna stand up in their wrong.
They ain't, and you have to, and that's when you have to come to acceptance of who a person is and make the decision whether you want them in your life or not.
Yes. So we definitely need to talk about this forgiveness thing. Have me on another day. We need to talk about it.
We need to talk about forgiveness.
Let's talk about it.
Well, y'all, this is the end of our show. We got to get ready to go. Go bomb rush, Jess.
Yes, bomb.
Go bomb rush.
Please and thank you.
I just want to tell you thank you so much, Jess.
No, I want to thank you. Let me tell you something. We two little black girls from Mobile, Alabama. We may be taking 2 different paths, but we are doing exactly what we are supposed to do. And sister, I applaud everything that you got going on. Don't you ever let nobody tell you that what you're doing is not affecting the world in a positive way, because people wake up looking for Keandra Speaks. You hear me? Because I'm looking for somebody's business. I may not be able to get on the post all the time, but I'm there. I'm watching. I'm looking and I see you. That smile that you got on your face, that ain't fake.
No, it's
The
not.
way your eyes light up when you smile, that ain't fake, sis. And I'm proud of you. I'm
Thank
glad you are living the life that you want to live
I am.
unapologetically, you.
I
And
am.
you're beautiful.
Thank you. Just thank you so much.
Thank you.
And look, I'm proud of you too. I'm so
Thank
proud of
you.
you and the woman that you have become. I be
Yes.
stalking this shit and I seen y'all move your house and all that shit in your cars and the driveway ain't got no oil stains in it and shit. You know what I'm saying? I be looking, bitch. You know what I'm saying? So
It ain't no odds since I done made it. Okay.
So I'm proud of you and thank you so
Thank
much. And I love you. And I got to
Thank
have you
you.
back on here real soon. I'm trying to get you back
Yes.
on next week because we need you.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
look,
we need you.
my favorite, we need each other to survive. We can't make it through this world without one another. And sometimes we got to disconnect from the family that we grew up in and connect to one that loves us just the way that we are until we get to where we need to be. So I thank each and every one of you all for joining in on us to listen to what little old me got to say. I pray that God touches you in the way that he sees fit. I pray that you get everything that your heart's desire. And I pray that everything that you touch be blessed simply because it was attached to you guys.
Thank you. And look, that's it right there. That's it right there. So y'all know I love everybody that love me.
I know that's right. And I love you if you don't love me, but I'm going to love you from over.
Until next time, I'm going to see y'all later.
See you later, boo-boo.